attraction, learning to attract wealth, health, and happiness. Esther and Jerry Hicks, the teaching of Abraham. And we are now on page 26. So good. So happy, beautiful day, each and every one of you. Hope you're having a wonderful day and that you're feeling good and that you are feeling your own alignment. Because that alignment is always available to us to feel. So that's where the freedom is in who we really are. So good. So let's start. Attention to unwanted attracts more unwanted. For every pleasing thing, there is an unpleasing counterpart, for within every particle of the universe is that which is wanted as well as the lack of that which is wanted. When you focus upon an unwanted aspects of something in an effort to push it away from you, instead it only comes closer, because you get what you give your attention to, whether it's something that you want or not. You live in a universe that is based on inclusion. In other words, there is no such thing as exclusions. In this inclusions-based universe, when you see something that you desire and you say yes to it, that is the equivalent of saying, yes, this thing that I desire, please come to me. When you see something that you do not want and you shout no at it, that is the equivalent of saying, come to me, this thing that I do not want. Within everything that surrounds you is that which is wanted and that which is unwanted. It is up to you to focus upon what is wanted. See your environment as a buffet of many choices and make more deliberate choices about what you think about. If you will try to make choices that feel good to you, as you make an effort to tell a different story about your life and the people and the experience that are in it, you will see your life begin to transform to match the essence of the details of the new and improved story you are now telling. Hi, Eva. Happy beautiful day, Jen. Eva. That's nice. Am I focused upon the wanted or the unwanted? Sometimes you believe that you're focused upon that you want, when actually the opposite is true. Just because your words sound positive or your lips are smiling while you say them, does not mean that you are vibrating on the positive end of the stick. It is only by being aware of the way you are feeling while offering your words that you can be sure that you are, in fact, offering a vibration about what you do want, rather than what you do not want. Focus on the solution, not the problem. In the midst of what the television weatherman was calling a serious drought, our friends Esther walked down one of the paths on their Texas Hill Country property, noticing the dryness of the grass and feeling real concern for the well-being of the beautiful trees and bushes that were all beginning to show signs of stress from the short age of rain. She noticed that the birth bath was empty, even though she had filled it with water just a few hours earlier, and then she thought about the thirsty deer there, who had probably jumped the fence to drink the small amount of water that it held. And so, as she was pondering the direness of the situation, she stopped, looked upward, and in a very positive voice, with very positive sounding words, said, Abraham, I want some rain. And we said immediately back to her, indeed, from this position of lack, you think you will get rain? What am I doing wrong? She asked. And we asked, why do you want the rain? And Esther answered, I want it because it refreshes the earth. I want it because it gives all of the creature in the bushes watered so that they have enough to drink. I want it because it makes the grass green and feels good upon my skin, and it makes us all feel better. And we say, now you are attracting rain. Or question, why do you want the rain? Help Esther withdraw her attention from the problem and turn her attention toward this solution. This is a really good one. When you consider why you want something, your vibration usually shifts or pivots in the direction of your desire. Whenever you consider how it will happen, or when or who will bring it, your vibration usually then shifts back toward the problem. You see, in the process of taking her attention from that was wrong, by her asking her why she wanted the rain, she accomplished a pivot. She began thinking not only of what she wanted, but why she wanted it. And in the process, she began to feel better. That afternoon, it rained. And that night, the local weatherman reported an unusual, isolated thunderstorm in the hill country. Your thoughts are powerful, and you have much more control over your own experience than most of you realize. Happy beautiful day, Besnik. And Eduardo, hello from Brazil. Good day. Happy beautiful day. So good. So what I do want is to feel good. A young father found himself at his wits' end because his young son was wetting the bed every night. Not only was his father frustrated about the physical disruption of finding wet bedding and clothing every morning, but he was concerned about the emotional ramifications of this continuing for such a long time. And frankly, he was embarrassed by his son's behavior. He's too big for this, he complained to us. We asked him, when you come into the bedroom in the morning, what happens? Well, as soon as I walk into his room, I can tell by the odor that he has wet the bed again, he answered. And how do you feel at that point? We asked. Helpless, angry, frustrated. This has been going on for a long time, and I don't know what to do about it. What do you say to your son? Tell him to get out of those wet clothes and get into the bathtub. Tell him he's too big for this and that we talked about it before. We told this father that he was actually perpetuating bedwetting. We explained, when the way you feel is controlled by a condition, you can never influence a change in the condition. But when you are able to control the way you feel within a condition, then you have the power to influence change in the condition. For example, when you enter your son's bedroom and become aware that something that you do not want to happen has happened, if you would stop for a moment to acknowledge the thing that has happened and that you do not want, asking yourself, what is it that you do want? And then further enforcing that side of the pivotal equation by asking yourself why you want it. Not only would you immediately feel better, but you would soon begin to see the results of your positive influence. What do you want? We asked. He said, I want a little one to wake up happy and dry and proud of himself and not be embarrassed. This father felt relief as he focused upon what he wanted, because in making that effort, he found harmony with his desire. We told him, as you're thinking those sorts of thoughts, then what will be oozing out of you will be in harmony with what you do want, rather than in harmony with what you do not want. And you will be more positively influencing your son. Then words will come out of you such as, oh, this part of growing up All of us have been through this, and you are growing up very fast. Now get out of those wet clothes and get into the bathtub. This young father called very soon after that and happily reported that the bedwetting had stopped. Whenever I'm feeling bad, I'm attracting unwanted. While almost everyone is aware of how they feel in varying degrees, there are few who understand the important guidance that their feelings or emotions provide. In the most simple of terms, whenever you feel bad, you are in the process of attracting something that will not please you. Without exception, the reasons for negative emotion is because you are focused upon something you do not want or upon the lack of absence of something that you do want. Many regard negative emotion as something unwanted, but we prefer to see it as important guidance to help you to understand the direction of your focus. Therefore, the direction of your vibration. Therefore, the direction of what you are attracting. You could call it a warning bell, because it certainly does give you a signal to let you know that it is time to pivot. But we prefer to call it a guiding bell. Your emotions are your guidance system to assist you in understanding what you are in the process of creating with every thought you think. Often people who are beginning to understand the power of thought and the importance of focusing upon good feeling subjects are embarrassed or even angry at themselves when they find themselves in the midst of negative emotion. But there is no reason to be angry at yourself for having a perfectly functioning guidance system. Whenever you become aware that you are feeling negative emotion, begin by complimenting yourself for being aware of your guidance, and then gently try to improve the feeling by choosing thoughts that feel better. We would call this a very subtle processing of pivoting, whereby you gently choose better feeling thoughts. Whenever you feel negative emotion, you could say to yourself, I'm feeling some negative emotion, which means I'm in the process of attracting something that I do not want. What is it that I do want? Often just acknowledging that you want to feel good will help turn your thoughts in a better feeling direction. But it is important to understand the distinction between wanting to feel good and not wanting to feel bad. Some people think that it is just two different ways of saying the same thing, when actually those statements are exact opposites with huge vibrational differences. If you begin to orient your thoughts by steadily looking for things that cause you to feel good, you will begin to develop patterns of thoughts or beliefs that will help you create magnificent, good feeling lives. My thoughts dovetail into stronger matching thoughts. Whatever thought you focus upon, whether it whether it's some memory from your past, something you're observing in your present, or something you are anticipating in your future, that thought is active within you right now, and it is attracting other thoughts and ideas that are similar. Not only do your thoughts attract other thoughts that are of a similar nature, but the longer you focus, the stronger the thoughts become, and the more attraction power they amass. Our friend Jerry likened it to the ropes he once observed while watching a large ship being docked. It was to be it was to be tied with a rope that was very large, too big and bulky to be thrown across the expanse of water. And so, instead, a small ball of twine was tossed across the water to the dock. The twine had been spliced into a little bigger rope, which had been spliced into little bigger rope, which had been spliced into a little bigger rope, until eventually the very large rope could be easily pulled across the expanse of water, and the ship was then secured to the dock. This is similar to the way your thoughts dovetail into one another, with one connecting to another, and so on. Upon some subjects, because you have been pulling on the negative rope longer, it is very easy for you to get off on a negative tangent. In other words, it just takes a little negative someone, utterance from someone, a memory of something, or some suggestion that takes you into a negative tailspin right away. Your point of attraction predominantly occurs from the day to day things that you are thinking as you're moving through your day, and you have the power to direct your thoughts positively or negatively. For example, you are in the grocery store. You are in the grocery store, and you notice that something that you regularly purchase has increased substantially in price, and you feel strong discomfort wash over you. You may very well think that you are just feeling shocked over the sudden spike in the price of this item, and that since you have no say in what the grocer charge for any of the items in this store, you have no option other than to feel discomfort about it. However, we want to point out that your feeling of discomfort is not because of the grocer's action of raising the price of the goods for sale, but instead it is because of the direction of your own thoughts. Just like the analogy of the rope tied to the rope tied to the rope tied to the rope, your thoughts are tied to one another and travel quickly to heightened vibrational places. For example, wow, the price of this is much greater than it was just last week. This price jump seems unreasonable. There's nothing reasonable about the greed in the marketplace. Things are getting way out of hand. I don't know where it's all headed. It doesn't seem like we can go on like this. Our economy is in trouble. I can't afford these inflated prices. I'm having a hard time making I'm having a hard times making ends meet. I can't seem to earn it fast enough to keep up with the increase in the cost of living. And of course, this negative train of thought can move in many directions toward blame of the grocer, to the economy, to your government, but it usually always turns back to the way you feel that the situation will negatively impact you, because everything that you observe feels personal to you. And everything, in truth, is personal to you because you are offering a vibration about it that is affecting what now is being attracted to you by your choice of thoughts. If you are aware of how you are feeling and you understand that your emotions are indicating the direction of your thoughts, then you can more deliberately guide your thoughts. For example, wow, the price of this is much greater than it was just last week. However, I'm not aware of the other items in my basket. They could be the same or maybe even a bit lower. I wasn't really paying attention. This one just got my attention because it was so much greater. Prices do fluctuate. I always manage. Things are going up a bit, but it's working out all right. It is quite an impressive system of distribution that makes this variety of goods so accessible to us. Once you decide that you care about feeling good, you will find it easier to more consistently choose a better feeling direction in your thoughts. When the desire to feel good is effectively active within you, a consistent conspiration toward good feeling thoughts will be present, and you will find it easier and easier to direct your thoughts in productive directions. Your thoughts contain enormous creative, attractive power that you harness effectively only by consistently offering good feeling thoughts. When your thoughts constantly move back and forth between wanted and unwanted, pros and cons, pluses and minuses, you lose the benefit of the momentum of your pure positive thought. This is so good. Creating a book of positive aspects. In the first year of Jerry and Esther's work with us, They were using small hotel meeting rooms in different cities within 300 miles of their home in Texas to provide a comfortable place where people could gather to address their personal questions with us. There wasn't there was a hotel in the city of Austin that always seemed to forget they were coming, even though Esther had made arrangements with the hotel, signed contracts, and even called it in the days just prior to the event to confirm. The hotel was always able to accommodate them, even though when they arrived, no one seemed to be expecting them. But it was very uncomfortable for Jerry and Esther to be in the position of urging the hotel staff to hurry to get the room ready before their guests arrived. Finally, Esther said, "I think we should find a new hotel." And we said, "That might be a good idea, but remember, you will take yourself with you." "What do you mean?" Esther asked, a bit defensively. defensively. We explained, if you take action from your perspective of lack, the action is always counterproductive. In fact, it is likely that the new hotel will treat you just like the last one did. Jerry and Esther laughed at our explanation because they had already moved from one hotel to another for the very same reason. "What will we do?" they asked. We encouraged them to purchase a new notebook and write boldly across the front cover of it, "My book of positive aspects." And on the first page of the book, write, "Positive aspects of Hotel in Austin." And so, Esther began to write, "It is a beautiful facility. It is immaculate. It is well situated, very close to the interstate, with easy to find directions. There are many different sided rooms to accommodate or increasing numbers. The hotel staff is always very friendly." As Esther was making those entries, her feeling about the hotel changed from one of negative to one of positive. And in the moment that she began to feel better, her attraction from the hotel changed. She did not write, "They are always ready and waiting for us," because that had not been her experience. And writing what would have evoked a feeling of contradiction or a feeling of defense or justification from her, by wanting to feel good, and by deliberately focus her attention more upon the things about the hotel that did feel good. Esther's point of attraction regarding this hotel shifted, and then something Esther found very interesting happened. The hotel never forgot they were coming again. Esther was amused to realize that the hotel had not been forgetting about their agreement because they were uncaring or disorganized. The hotel staff was simply being influenced by Esther's dominant thoughts about them. In short, they could not buck the current of Esther's negative thought. Esther enjoyed her book of positive aspects so much that she began writing pages on many subjects of her life. We encouraged her to not only write about the things in which she was seeking improved feelings, but to write about things she already felt mostly positive about, just to get in the habit of good feeling thoughts, and for the pleasure of good feeling thoughts. It is a nice way to live. So that is so good. So that's it for today. Love you guys so much, and wish you a wonderful, beautiful day, all of you. So namaste. Enjoy.